My name is Bernard Sweeney, Irish traveller, and I'm reporting here from the pale, Englishy type Dublin. Not the people, of course, the systems, the institutions. And I must get that quite clear. One of the things I guess I want to say to the people of the world, for anyone that has any interest in listening to this kind of stuff, as an Irish traveller, we come from a community that had been given several different labels, many different labels, not to mention the worst of names, put in the worst of situations, excluded, isolated, assimilated, processed, dragged through system after system. Not to make us better, but to make us settled, to make us English. And people get offended by this. And I don't know what to say about it, because our people are dying 7 days a week. So you'll have to get all offended all you want. This is nothing against settled people. The vast majority of settled people are operating this mentality, are not even aware that they are. I'd say the vast majority of settled people overall. Now, how could it be, when you think about it? 500 years of English colonisation and imperialism. Longer the colonisation, but the more intense was the imperialisation. Which means they just set up their institutions and started to control, shift the mentality of the Irish native people into a more English one. People get confused also to think they might be British. I don't know how to tell you this, but you go far and deep to find the British, and the British are not English. The British are more like Irish travellers, or were, before they got their identity lifted from them by the English. The same mentality that operates Dublin right to this moment. English institutions, King's Inn College, Royal College of Surgeons, their four courts, your legal systems, Trinity College, Maynooth College, the Queen's Colleges. All of these are English institutions operating an English mentality. This is why we travellers have so much issues, psychologically, issues that we didn't have a few decades ago, because the more and more the state tried to clamp down on our way of life and exclude us, destroy us, because they became ashamed. They didn't want to be seen as the new identified Irish since 1922, which still kept all the English systems, but this was the kind of new Irish identity, settled Irish, to be normal, to live in a house, and to do all the things the settled people were doing. Now again, I'm not demonising a way people live or don't live, but all these laws and institutions have destroyed Irish travellers, Irish people, because the labels mean nothing in a colonial world. It'll be one label after another, one self-identifier or another, one identifying one or another. It's constantly over and back with labels. Racism, anti-racism. All yin-yang stuff, all operating in the same operating system. So it's like having different groups of like-minded people, individualistically designed through the system, and it could not be avoided. Think about your education system, classroom, school, university, and all have the same disciplines, same kind of critiquing. And then most of those people go through them systems and come out the far side feeling they've been cheated, almost learning things more so outside of the same education system that was meant to be educating them. So there's a lot of blind spots left in the English colonial anglicised education system at the moment. So much so that Irish settled people for the last 100 years have systematically tortured Irish travellers. Not people's fault, it's not the Irish settled people's fault. If you go a bit deeper, there's diversions within the settled population. Not because of Norman, Viking, Saxons, because something happened 500 years ago through the Elizabethan conquest and their institutions that has not changed to date. That's the only reason why I'm going on about this. I'm not an historian. No expertise, no qualifications, no formal shit, or not shit, but you know what I mean. That's the best wishes to everyone going for their studies today, also third level, or one of them things, that junior cert. Best wishes. Disregard most of what I say. It's not necessarily against you, it's just the colonial systems. When we understand a little more about our mind and our mentality and how we can separate both, and I guess the mentality is like the limbic system, and the limbic system keeps your language, stores your language, your memories, your dreams, your nightmares, feelings, emotions, all of that goes on the limbic system, right? The mind then operates from that. In other words, they work with each other. But if the mind does not know the mentality was colonized from its original language, like the same way you take a seed from an apple and put it in a different environment, the seed is never going to know that's not its natural environment and may struggle to grow or develop and so on and so forth. So it's about the mind over matter, mind over mentality. And I think we can do this. It's about stepping outside of all of these labels. No blame, no shame. History is history, things happen. There was heroes, there was villains, and the heroes were villains, and the villains sometimes were heroes. That's just the way it went. It's just something else that has happened and continues to happen that is destroying Irish travellers. Remove travellers, the label, that's all it is, a label. You know that, we know that. Tinkers, itinerants, hedge people, woods people, right back to the clans, right back to the Gaels, the Gallowglass warriors, the Kerns, the poets, musicians. That's where we came from, and that's who we are. So with that, that's what I'm hoping to, trying to elaborate, collaborate, do in the Pale. So, yeah, it is a nice spot, I won't lie. I love it up here, so far. But it's you know, it'll never be Sligo. Whatever about Cavan. Have a good day. We'll talk soon, my friends.